Tonight, Niall goes all out. A scene that should have been banned a long time ago, and Alex is surrounded by angry colleagues. Hello there, says Revenge of the Sith memes. Anyways, it's your favorite mashup pal and Rosalina lover, Dogs Eating Dog 6. That's me. Remember the name well. I'm finally back, and about time too. And before you say anything else, no, Rosalina will not be joining us today because she's already taking a break after casting Ice Age Collision Course into a supermassive black hole. So instead, she decided to let me continue to rant on another movie we really, really loathe. I bet she's in the Comet Observatory thinking about me and... Wow, I am blushing right now. So anyways, who else is here besides us?
Alright, SmashAlex21 entering stage left, and I don't have any entourage with me. I've got a movie to talk about, and what is it? Oh, it's a bad one. Well, time to become sophisticated. Oh, and also, thanks for letting me on the show.
This commercial is really nothing more than an advertisement for WWE.
This goes to show how low WWE has fallen.
Before we begin, I just want to say, if Schaefer's Productions never made a Sony Animation movie ranking, we would have forgotten that this commercial even exists. So, subscribe to him when you get the chance.
Wait, is it still there? Considering the train wreck that HBO Max has become. But that's a story for another time. I'll use more British expressions, but no obscene language here, really. We literally just started the review, and yet someone's already yelling.
In fact, this commercial is so fucking terrible that I'm looking back fondly to Batman and Robin. That's right, a movie that is so bad that it's good is more enjoyable than this travesty. Now, let's talk about what made Surf's Up amazing in the first place. Not to mention, Cody is an absolute dickhead who cares about nothing other than winning. This is the perfect example of character assassination! After that, they basically said, fuck the first movie, and not only did they get rid of Big Z and replace it with a John Cena penguin, they also turned Cody into a fucking prick who is obsessed with winning!
I mean, it was at a lower budget, so of course the animation would be downgraded. Because why put a high budget in a WWE commercial? This was direct-to-DVD. The first one was a full theatrical release, so that it was obvious a downgrade was to happen. May I make a comparison? This is Surf's Up 2, and here, this is still from Beast Wars, a TV show from 1996. Which looks better? And there is a correct answer. It's the one where some T-Rex says, yes.
This commercial has already started, and I'm already filled with dread.
An advert within an advert. Funny? Not. Think Hamlet by Shakespeare, now that has and play within a play. But worse. This scene is somewhat disturbing. Unlike my colleagues here, I don't actually care for this. It's a literal 2 or so second gag for the adults. Kids, you don't get it. So what's the problem? I don't see it. And you are all overreacting.
And you know what else? This looks like one of those shitty Carway gags from Modern Family Guy. This scene can be summed up in 3 simple words. And finally, here's what I think of that god-awful scene before we go much further.
It's a shame, because in actual WWE, The Undertaker was always this menacing force who symbolises the Green Reaper. And in this, he's a bit thick. Correction. It did.
After a shit ton of filler, everyone is playing on a high tightrope. As a result, they fall off a cliff and somehow survive! What the fuck?
To be fair, it is fiction. Anything's possible, but I still agree. And I've seen a movie where a talking cockapoo does a kamikaze but ejects just as the crash is about to happen. At least Sky there seems to have lightning fast reaction times. It still makes sense, she's trained for that, but here? But again, that's for another day. No. Physics should determine the song at such a rate they'd hit the ground and most likely die.
Clips like that, you know that you're gonna have a bad time. And as if the fish milking scene and Koji being insufferable weren't enough, guess what? Things go downhill yet again!
Now they have to glide over lava and... Was there something in my last cup of tea?
Lonnie and Chicken Joe decline to surf in the trenches, while Tang goes, but immediately has second thoughts. as a result, the Hang 5 pushed Tank away, almost killing him, even after they lectured Cody about working as a team. Fucking hypocrites!
Because of poorly written comedy. Seriously, there's nothing funny about this scene, but is it really worth making a fuss over?
Yes!
Okay then. The things I do for this job.
Sadly, we are not done just yet. We still have to talk about the characters, which, by the way, there are very few in this WWE advertisement. There are constant jokes about him liking death, which just drag on and on. We fucking get it!
It exists as a gag so the adults watching can have a laugh. Most kids' movies these days do have some adult humour, and the film is rated PG by the BBFC, the British Board of Film Classification for those who are not from Britain. So basically almost everyone here, and most viewers, for mild bad language, really? Violence? Well, it is WWE after all, and fret. Nothing on rude humour. Odd. Hunter, Triple H, and Paige are just pathetically bland and boring characters. I guess the same could be said about the rest of the Hang 5. All they have are positive traits because, God forbid, they make the wrestlers look bad in a WWE commercial. Money. That's why. Vince was footing the bill and they had to make it to their standards, which were obviously quite low. First off, they replaced Shia LaBeouf. Yes, it was him originally. Guess he was too expensive to bring back? Considering the first one came out in 2006 before Shia hit the big time with the 2.5-hour car advertisement that was Michael Bay's Transformers. Then again, that still has a plot, despite being an advertisement for the then upcoming new Chevrolet Camaro. But Sony do seem to like changing lead voices. Take Open Season, where they had Martin Lawrence of Bad Boys fame, and Ashton Kutcher, the former holder of the most followers on Twitter, but the sequels kept changing around them. But aside from that, he's a twat.
Cody literally went out of his own way to try to kill Tag! Jesus Christ! Isn't he supposed to be the protagonist?
Not to mention how whiny he is, what the hell? The main issue is something called flanderization. Cody basically puts everything he's learned from Big Zed in movie 1 to being a glory seeker whose only goal is to impress the WWE people to take Vince McMahon's place. Ironically, the fact that Vince McMahon is actually finally retired due to issues kind of shows the whole thing was maybe ahead of the time? Maybe?
As atrocious as Jasper Bad Jr. was, at least he had some good music during his boss fight. And as atrocious as Robin was, at least he wasn't like his Teen Titans Go counterpart. But Cody in this atrocity, there is absolutely no excuse behind this, at all.
Will you lot reel it in and calm yourselves? I thought we were making a professional review here.
Fun fact. I would rather sit through the finale of Game of Thrones than ever suffer through watching this pile of shit again! Seriously, I bet the writers of that would say, well, at least we didn't fuck up that badly!
This commercial is straight up awful. The jokes are unfunny, it takes away from the good source material from the first movie, and it's just overall a cinematic disaster. As expected from a feature-length WWE commercial that was released in 2016, straight to DVD. Just watch Scooby-Doo WrestleMania Mystery because that actually has a plot that works. All this makes you want the Attitude Era back. The good days of playing SmackDown Shut Your Mouth on PlayStation 2 as The Rock against Stone Cold Steve Austin. They wouldn't have this. No offense people, but was this truly the worst thing ever? I could see 100% for you guys, even though I do hate it. There are so many much worse films out there. Okay, basically makes the retcons everything from one and makes the protagonist a dick, and the WWE stuff exists. 0.25 out of 10.
Before the main punishment, we will do something similar to episode 3 of the King Ollie Show, which will be a punishment day!
Punishments? Really? You're on your own on that one. I can't stop you, so have fun. My work here is done. And these are now my colleagues. Well...
And the fact that Rosalina also hated the literal WWE commercial, which is why she told me to never watch it again. Anyways, I shall return back to the Comet Observatory and spend more time with my dear, sweet, beautiful Rosalina. Actually, one last thing. The next video on my channel will be the one you've been waiting for, Adventures End V2. So, hope you look forward to that one. Remember, where there's smoke, they pinch back. Ciao!
If you hit the dial on channel 3, you get my views on the Paw Patrol movie, which was good. Or you could switch over to channel 2 and watch the entire Origami Kingdom musical. Or you could watch the entire video about Gamebox art. Oh, whatever. This has been SmashAlex21 for Super Origami Kingdom. Over and out.